Thank you. In Delaware, it's a case of deja vu. A House bill that would legalize assisted suicide is once again being considered. 47 ABC's Lili Zheng joins us in the studio tonight. And Lili, is it safe to say that this legislation barely made it out of the gate last time around?
Ryan, that's exactly right. Introduced by Representative Baumbauch, it was actually tabled in committee 2 years ago. So what that means is it was reserved and had the option of being brought back again, as we saw this year. However, Representative Baumbauch says this admittedly controversial end-of-life option is a conversation worth having.
This is not a life and death question issue. This is a death and death question issue.
That's Representative Baumbauch explaining his drive behind House Bill 160, also known as the End-of-Life Options Act. Reintroduced this week by the District 23 representative, it would allow an adult diagnosed with a terminal illness who is expected to die within 6 months to request prescription medicine to end his or her life. A consulting physician would have to confirm the attending doctor's diagnosis.
If you go to any senior center across the state, up and down the state, and you sit down at lunch and you talk to people and you talk about this issue, they know it because they've got friends who've gone through this.
Under the legislation, the patient would have to make both oral and written requests, plus wait at least 15 days after the initial request before receiving the drugs. However, this type of legislation has not come without pushback. The Disability Rights Education and Defense Fund has publicly opposed the legalization of assisted suicide in the past. Of the several arguments presented by the Civil Rights Law and Policy Center, they describe managed care and assisted suicide as a deadly mix, claiming the impact of legalizing assisted suicide would fall hardest on socially and economically disadvantaged people who have less access to medical resources.
We want to hear from them, but I want my legislators to hear from their constituents, and their constituents understand this.
Constituents like Tressie Fillmore. The Milford resident says she doesn't see a problem.
Because my mother has chronic pain all the time, and I can understand where if she was going to be diagnosed with a terminally ill disease and was going, only had 6 months, if she wanted to go ahead and do it, then, that's her own opinion. That's what she wants to do, then let her do it. We're entitled to our own selves.
Passage or not, Baumbauch says the issue of assisted suicide is clearly not simple, adding it's going to take time for the public to understand the issue alone.
This bill has been assigned to the House Health and Human Development Committee. The next step is finding a date for the measure to be heard. Ryan?
Lili, thank you. 47 ABC's Lili Zheng reporting live in studio tonight.